Hello, my friends. Welcome to Magic with Musicat. I'm Musicat.
And I'm Willow, and today we have a fun craft project for you.
It is the middle of March, and here in the Northern Hemisphere, the spring equinox is almost upon us. Living here in New England, of course, means today we have a snowstorm.
To prepare for spring, we like to decorate our house with eggs, flowers, mushrooms, and fairies and bunnies.
We also love to decorate eggs for Ostara. Like most, we usually dye eggs the same way people do who celebrate Easter. We decided that we're going to decorate plastic eggs instead, using 3 of our favorite techniques.
So grab some plastic eggs and a few other things from your local Dollar Tree or Walmart and decorate some eggs with us.
Are you ready to get started, Willow?
Let's get witchcrafty.
Yeah. Freeze. For our first egg, we are going to do a basic decoupage technique. Decoupage is the art of decorating surfaces of an object by applying cutouts of paper over it and then covering it with several layers of finish such as lacquer or Mod Podge.
We are going to start with several different decorative napkins. Mom finds them all the time at the Dollar Tree.
Yes, you can find decorative napkins in the holiday and party sections of the Dollar Tree, Walmart, Christmas tree shop, or any other store like that. First, what you want to do is separate the layers of the napkin, so you're only going to use the outside decorative layer. All right, so you want to start at the corner and just roll it with your finger, and it easily comes apart. Gentle, try not to
Rip it?
rip it. Yep. And you can put that other part aside for now and use that to blow your nose or wipe off the counter when you're done. All right. So now we're left with the decorative napkin. So a lot of it doesn't have the pretty color. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to take our scissors and cut that part out that we want to use. And there we have our decorative layer. All right, here we go. Now we have the napkin cut out about a size that will fit over our egg. Grab an egg and see if it'll fit. Yeah, that'll definitely fit. I think this one would even fit one of the bigger ones. Let's try a bigger one. Oh yeah, I definitely have enough. All right, so now what you want to do is you're going to attach the paper to the egg. So we do that by taking a paintbrush and putting a layer of Mod Podge all over the surface of the egg. Want to do it a little at a time. Try not to get too much of the glue on your fingers, or try to avoid it getting any glue on your fingers, so you don't mess up the napkin. There we go. So I got part of it done, and then I'm going to put it on nice and gentle. And I'm just going to kind of push it down and try to not have too many bumps on the way. You're going to get some because you're putting a flat surface on a curved surface. So you're going to have some, but you want to try to keep it down to a minimum. So look at that. It's looking pretty good already. So once I get that part down, right, then carefully find a part that's not too wet. Flip it over and do the other side. Now the other side, you're going to have some overlap, which is okay. You know, when you're decorating, when you're displaying the eggs, you can lay them down so that part won't show. Or the way it looks, it may come out a cool design depending on what your pattern is. If you want something a little bit more random, then the randomness of the pattern will help. So there we go. So I cover the second layer with glue and cover it up one section at a time, folding it over.
And if you do get some glue on your fingers, it's fine. Accidents happen.
Oh yeah. And so now I got a little fold over here that doesn't have any glue, so it won't stick. So I just add a little bit more glue right there. Again, trying to avoid getting it on my fingers if possible. There you go. How you doing over there, Willow?
Oh, I think I'm doing great.
Excellent.
I don't know, though.
The cool thing about this is if it's not perfect, that's totally fine. You know, it's going to look pretty no matter what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, this is really easy, too, right? Okay, so you want to be careful. Now, see, I ripped it up a little bit because my finger touched it, but I can, as long as I try to not make it too much worse, it should be okay. And if worse comes to worse, I can always take another piece of paper and put it over it. All right, so now I'm cutting off some of the extra. So we got a lot of extra here, okay? And I'm gonna put that stuff down so it lays flat. And then if there's any sections that miss the paper, I can go back and add that after. All right. Just be very careful not to smudge your fingers on the paper because the paper is thin, so it will rip it. All right, so I left an empty spot right there, but I can add another piece of paper on top. Look at that. And if it's not totally lying down, don't worry about it. When you're all done, you're going to put another layer on top. So now that the egg is completely covered with the paper, that looks pretty cool, right? Right. Now to protect it, now we're going to take the Mod Podge and we're going to gently put a layer on top of the paper, and that's going to seal it and make it stay and protect it forever. Just be careful you go nice and slow so that you don't rip the paper. Try to go with the direction that the paper's already sitting on the egg. All right, so I've got most of the egg covered, but I don't want to get my fingers on the glue because I might mess up the napkin. So I'm going to let this sit and dry for a little while. I'm going to put it here on my silicone mat, or if you have a drying rack, that works too, and give it a little while to dry, maybe 15-20 minutes, and then put glue on the bottom half, and then it'll be good to go. And it doesn't look very pretty now, but the Mod Podge will dry clear, so it'll look great after it's done.
That's the amazing thing about Mod Podge.
All right, so we're gonna let those sit and dry, and we'll show you the results in a few minutes. For our second technique, we are going to decoupage the egg just like we did with the napkins, but we're going to do it with regular old paper towels instead. And then after that, we are going to paint it with spray paint, acrylic paint, and maybe even some nail polish. We're going to try a few different combinations.
Of course you can do any combination that you want.
Absolutely. To do these eggs, you're going to start using the same technique that we just did with the napkins. We're going to pull the layers apart. Okay, so you only want that one layer. Put the other part aside. Now, the cool part about this technique is, unlike the napkins trying to get them to be all perfect, it's actually better if the paper towels are not perfect. So, what are we going to do first? I'm going to crumple it up. Crumple up in a little bowl. And then we pull it apart. There we go. So now it's a little crumply. And then when we put it on the egg, we can crumple it up even more. All right, so you start again with the layer of Mod Podge on the egg, one side at a time. Try to keep your fingers away from the glue. And then I take my crumpled up paper and I'm gonna just kind of put it on there, and I'm gonna scrunch it up a little bit. Yeah, and I think I didn't actually need to cut the paper towel, but that's okay because I've got plenty. All right, so I'm gonna scrunch it all down. Got some nice ridges there. Okay, so having lines going in different directions, and you can kind of crumple it up a little bit. Try not to rip it though. Makes for some interesting designs that you can enhance with the paint later. if you want to do something cool and interesting, like what I do for my dragon eggs, then I want to have some ridges, and even having some pieces sticking up kind of makes it a little bit more interesting. All right, so I'm going to carefully put a layer of Mod Podge on top now. You want to make sure that any loose parts are sticking down and that are covered, just so that they don't get pulled off later. And then you're going to have it so that it's nice and secure and will be protected and be ready to paint once it's dry. All right, so now that the decoupaging is done and we've allowed it to dry, so we sat overnight, so now it's all nice and dry. We have all these cool ridges. Right? So next thing we're going to do is we're going to paint it. You can paint it with any color you want, whatever works for you. We can use acrylic paint. You can get it at any craft store. The acrylic paint you get at the dollar store. You might already have it in your house. Any paint that's acrylic based will work. It'll also wash off of your hands, so that's good. And I like the metallic, but you can use anything you want. I just like the metallic because it gives it a little extra shine.
We also use metallic nail polish. We get these at the dollar store.
Yeah, or anyway, the nail polish is also really great. It comes on shiny and it dries very quickly. The only problem is this little bottle will go very quickly. So if you're making a bunch of these, you're going to go through a lot of nail polish. But it's really cool, especially if you want to put little accents on it afterwards. I also love the nail polish, the glitter nail polish.
Yeah.
Glitter nail polish is a nice top coat. So once it's all done painted and you let it dry, then if you want to, go over it with the glitter nail polish, because you'll only see the glitter because it's clear. So the color underneath will be there and it'll just have a pop of glitter. And who doesn't love glitter, right? I love glitter.
I love it too.
Yeah.
Our last technique is hydro dipping, my favorite. So hydro dipping is when you put warm water and spray paint. So you put warm water in a bucket and then you put spray paint on top of it. And then you put something in it and it will design it.
Make sure that when you're using spray paint that you have a parent with you and you only use spray paint outside. We're outside in our backyard right now. Still lots of snow from the storm. You also want to make sure that you're wearing gloves. And if you get spray paint on your skin, wash it off quickly. Spraying the egg with a base coat makes the hydro dip work better. Okay. So spray your egg with a base coat first. There's 2 coats of white on this egg. I did 4 eggs for this project. Make sure you do this ahead of time, at least a day ahead, so that it can dry. So that the hydro dip will stick better and the paint will look better. Most spray paint takes at least 2 coats to look good, and hydro dipping you can only do 1 coat. So have at least 1 or 2 underneath so you get the best design. And it's okay if you miss a couple of spots, it's going to give it some personality, so don't worry about that. So let's get going.
I'm starting with black. You want to do quick. Go on my eyes.
Wearing a mask doing this wouldn't be a bad thing either.
No. And now I'm gonna dip in the egg because I put a little spray paint in. I hope this looks cool. Oh God, it's getting stuck to me. Not good, but not
Put it
bad.
down. Put it down. Let's see what it looks like.
I can let my fingers release. Release. Oh, man.
Okay, so that doesn't look bad, but see what happened is the spray paint is kind of sticky. That's because when we were just about to do the hydro dipping, our dog got loose and we had to chase her around the yard.
Yeah.
So that means we're gonna have to sort again. But this is a pretty good idea of what it looks like. It actually looks kind of neat.
Yeah, I'm gonna start putting the spray paint in.
So we'll do another round and we'll see that finished project after.
3, 2, 1, doink. Ooh, pretty. Really like that one.
Nice.
Get off!
Okay, so we brought the eggs inside. They're now sitting on the kitchen table so that they can dry. You can't leave them outside because it's too cold. Spray painting usually should be done when it's over 50 degrees, but we were out running errands, so we didn't get to do that. But so now they're inside, nice and warm, and they will dry overnight.
And here are our final results. I think they look really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
Especially the grave one.
Yeah. All right, so let's check out what we have, what we did. So we started with some decoupage. So these ones came out pretty good. All right, we've got the tie-dye one and I did a Halloween one. So those came out pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, check out these other decoupage ones that we did. So for this one, we used a napkin with a white background. And as you can still see the egg color underneath.
Which is kind of cool.
Which is kind of cool, but there's some spots that I'm not quite sure with that I like where the napkin is bunched up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of our nail polish or paint, and we're just going to go over those ridges and just kind of cover up that white, and then it'll make the egg look really, really cool. So we also did the painting over the decoupage, and we already showed you those. Those ones came out pretty cool, right? So those look pretty neat. And again, you can decorate them however you want. Make them pop as much as you can. You want to share our hydro dipping ones? Because those came out so cool.
So,
We can take a look at these.
I did the hydro dipping, and this was my favorite one I got out of it. So it's like all purple, black, white, and some other colors. And then it just has this little splotch of purple, and it even has like a little ring of purple right here, and I find that really cool. That's really interesting.
Yeah. And the cool thing about the way we did the hydro dipping is we did not glue the egg together. So you can pop it apart if you want to put stuff in it. Now, the one thing with that is these eggs have holes in them. So what ended up happening is when they dried, I had to open them up and pour out the water that was inside. So you want to make sure that you do that, or if you want to seal them, make sure you seal the little holes that are on the inside. So just as they're drying, pop them open and let the water out. But now, got a cool egg game. Put some candy or treats or whatever in there you want to do and do your egg hunt.
You can also use these for little decorations around your house.
Absolutely. All right, so thank you for joining us. And I'm pretty happy with the way these came out. Pretty cool. I like them. That wraps up our egg video. I hope you have a lot of fun decorating your eggs. And if you want, after you decorate your eggs, if you could take a picture, have your parents take a picture and send it to our Facebook page, I'd be happy to post it and share with everyone the awesome eggs that you made. Either way, I hope you have fun and enjoy this craft, and happy Ostara, happy spring, happy Easter, whatever you celebrate. And let's have a beautiful spring.
If you like this video, please smash that like button and subscribe.
And don't forget to share with all of your friends.
Thank you for joining us with
Magic with Music Hat.